Well, hello, and welcome. I'm Ominouslionheart, and this is an update video. It's been a year and a half, almost 2 years since I last did an update like this. So, to anyone that's been following me for a long time, you've likely noticed my format has changed quite a bit over the years. I started with recording silent video game playthroughs via rewritable DVDs, and then switched to doing Let's Plays from an HD capture card. From there, I switched over to just recording my streams and then uploading the full thing to my channel. So, it's been an interesting past 2.5 years. A lot of it, not great, if I'm quite honest. Before that happened, though, I wanted to say that I ended up getting burnt out making videos quite a while before the whole pandemic thing started. And I got burnt out hard. Whenever I had a day off from work, I would try to record for roughly 4 hours a day, 2 of each dedicated to whatever Let's Play or walkthrough, whatever you want to call it, that would be uploaded over the following days. But then I would also want to, play games on my own time, or throw time in for streaming. So, it didn't leave me a lot of time to myself, basically. Needless to say, trying to do this all started to pile up. The real burnout started around the time I was doing the Fire Emblem 7 LP. That took a long time to complete, and the perfectionist in me wanted me to do everything possible so the game would be fully completed and covered. And that's a long game to try and fully do for all 3 of the lords. So my desire to make videos dwindled afterwards. I started doing them less and less, and eventually I just stopped recording them altogether. I had more fun streaming and not having to worry about editing or messing with audio mixing or any of those problems. And then the 2020 pandemic hit. I worked the entirety of the pandemic. The first 2 months were absolute hell. Many people had left work, leaving few behind to deal with the aftermath, and I was absolutely overwhelmed. Those 2 months were some of the worst times I've had in my entire life. I wouldn't wish them on my worst enemy. Day in and day out, all I would do is leave for work and come home. Because of the curfew put into effect, and because almost everywhere was closed anyway, that was essentially life for about a year to a year and a half. So, every day, only leaving to go to work and then coming straight back home just gets stale really quick. I was at least happy to still have a way of making money. Don't get me wrong, I know I'm fortunate, and a lot of people weren't as fortunate as I, but I was tired. I worked 6 days every week for 2 months straight. It's just, I don't really want to get into more. It's just something I try to forget happened. Anyway, a lot of things happened during that time frame. Some good things came out of it, and a lot of bad things, but I digress. So I started to feel like I was wasting my time at home by not, making content. I wasn't quite ready to commit to making videos again, though, so instead I started to record my streams. I figured that way anyone that missed my streams could catch up with it, and it'd put some content out, and that's been the norm ever since. But I've started to realize that I want more. I do want to start putting my time towards videos again, but maybe not to the degree it has been in the past, but at least putting stuff out there. I've been making videos on YouTube now for well over a decade. It's always been a hobby, I told myself. I never bothered to try and monetize my videos, or advertise, or try to promote myself. Most of my videos, quite honestly, would not get that many views, and I was okay with that. I figured if someone wanted to find my channel and enjoy whatever I put out, then good for them. I would continue to do that and be fine. But after everything that's happened, I've realized that I'm not terribly happy with my job. There are many people that are doing what I'm doing, but they're making a living off of it. So, why can't I too? Believe it or not, and trust me, this is probably going to sound really dumb. I started thinking this back from, the whole German Dollhouse thing event of all things. Where he did, Sims in real life. I remember commenting that he had made more money from streaming than he did from a single day of work And someone had replied, just like in real life, huh? I know that probably sounds really dumb saying it out loud, but yeah. I mean, if you're good at something, you should never do it for free, right? So, here's my idea. What you may not know about me is that I am a massive video game collector. When I was younger, I was heavily inspired by AVGN, the angry video game nerd, James Rolfe. Maybe not so much his, like, over-the-top nerd persona. I actually really like James Rolfe as a person. He's, like, the most chill, down-to-earth person ever. But, I was always absolutely blown away by his massive video game collection. His room tours were just amazing, and I've always wanted to have a collection just like his, and, just emulate him. Him and a sort of British LPer that was called Necroscope86, who's no longer on YouTube, were actually my original inspirations to make my own videos on YouTube. That's when I started. I got a rewritable DVD player, rewritable DVDs, and I would just record for 2 hours straight for whatever I was doing, convert it on my computer, and then upload it. The quality wasn't great. 240p, I think, was the max it could get. I don't forget, I've been, like, learning as I go this whole time, but, things have definitely improved over time. Anyway, I'm getting off track. So, what I'm going to show you now is my first bookshelf of, this is basically mainly like my Nintendo shelf. So, I've recently acquired, an Analog Super NT and an Analog Genesis SG. Great companies. They make consoles that they don't use emulation. They run the games off of cartridges, just like the original SNES or Genesis. So at the top there is my Super Nintendo and Genesis collection, which I've only recently started, over past like year or so. And I'm really happy that that started to grow. Second shelf from the top, you can see my GameCube there, and then next to that are my Switch games, and behind those, you can see some of them, are my Nintendo 64 games. Shelf after that, you can see a couple 3DSs there, and then those are all my GameCube games there. Shelf below that has my Wii U and another couple odds and ends there. And then bottom shelf has my Wii games and a couple other odds and ends, like I said. What you can't see next to it is my DS collection, which I have on a separate shelf next to that. Okay, and then my other bookshelf is my Sony bookshelf. So this is everything I've had since the PlayStation 1 and onwards. And, I know I keep saying that, but again, you can also see, like, other odds and ends there. Like, I got my Wii at the top, and N64 controller, just because I don't have room to put it anywhere else. But, top shelf is PlayStation 1 stuff. Two middle shelves are PlayStation 2. PlayStation 2 continues to the third shelf from the next shelf, and then in front of that are PlayStation 4 games. PlayStation 3 also starts on that shelf, and then bottom shelf is just fully PlayStation 3. So, yeah, well, it's... like I said, I'll probably never have a collection as impressive as James Rolfe's, but I'd like to think that I've done pretty good. That's still respectable. So, while I may not have a collection that spans an entire basement, I do think I've made a respectable collection for myself over the years. Hell, I collect more games than I actually play. It's fun for me, though. So, what I'm thinking is I'll start making maybe roughly 30-minute videos that are showcasing the games that I have from my collection. Maybe save them for weekdays and maybe not do them every single day, to avoid burnout. I was thinking of calling it, like, the Vault or the Horde, but I think just calling the series The Collection will do. I will also continue to stream, both at my usual place, but also on my own personal Twitch channel. I will still record them to upload to YouTube, since I know Twitch deletes recordings after 30 days. If things go well, hopefully I'll be able to stream more on Twitch. as always, I will post current uploads to Twitter and also announce whatever I'm streaming there as well. Both links can be found in the description below in case you want to visit them, follow, whatever you want to do. One more thing I might do is going back to recording runs of games as well, though I'm not sure how it'll work out for that yet. I definitely don't want to burn myself out again like before. But if that kicks off, I'll make another series, maybe call it like Ominous Plays or something, I don't know. It's still a work in progress. Just sit down, play through the game in hour increments. These would be chopped up into edited parts like my old style, as opposed to my stream style where I just upload the whole VOD in one go. Anyway, I think that about covers everything that I wanted to talk about, so I think I've rambled off on enough at this point. So, hopefully look forward to new content coming out in the future. And also, sincerely thank you to anyone that's stuck around this long and who's watched all my videos. Really, thank you. Omi out.